righty, knuckleheads. I'm here with my better half, Debbie, and Tom and Rhonda from At Home with Tom and Rhonda Howard. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Now, Tom and Rhonda have a web. I'm so old. You have a YouTube channel, At Home with Tom and Rhonda Howard. And let me just go ahead and show you. Okay. They have horses, and here's their home page. They also cook a lot on their channel. They like to show off their dogs and their horses again here. So, but they do a lot more, and they have great lives. We always like their lives, and we join in on them all the time. So we highly recommend, and as usual, I'll put it on the links down below, and please go out and check out their YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Now, I find it very interesting listening to your lives and found out that you guys were at the Arctic Circle. Is that correct?
Yes, Kotzebue, Alaska, and Nome, Alaska.
Oh, Nome, Alaska. All right. Well, I know the military has a lot going on up there too, but I don't. But so you're both in the medical industry, and you met working up there in the medical industry. Is that correct?
That's right. I was a flight medic, and Rhonda was the chief flight nurse on the same plane that I was on. So she started off as my boss, and she still is my boss.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, same here. What Debbie says goes. And so that was kind of wild that of all places, two people go all the way up there and come together. So that's a wild story, and I find that fascinating. And you guys now live in Texas, and
where we're from.
Yeah, and it's very interesting. You guys kind of built your own place down there, and expanded on everything. You got a nice homestead, and lots of animals and stuff, and you're doing a lot of things in your busy schedule, and having animals, I know, must be very, very hard to do.
It takes a lot.
Yes.
We have to
it's very
figure
challenging.
Yes, we have to figure out schedules to feed them and make sure we don't neglect them just because we're busy at work.
We have a couple of horses, quite a few chickens, ducks,
turkeys,
roosters, turkeys.
Jared's kidnapped
English
our male
creams.
turkey.
We have Yorkie, which is a Yorkshire Terrier.
Yeah, and
So
Jared
we've got an
kidnapped our turkey so that we could breed with his female, so we could hopefully have babies. We've already got one little baby out there running around.
All right. Yeah, I know you guys have kind of if one's better off over there and the other one's better off over here, it's nice having a good neighbor that it just works with you. And I know they watch your animals whenever you're busy, and you watch their animals, and that's the way it should be. It should be a neighborly effort. And I think, of course, everybody that watches us already probably know that you are neighbors with Jared Crocker for the most part, but Matt and Jason also, come around a lot. And so I guess you can say they're both your neighbors also.
Yes. They've got the shoot dang shed over there where they do all the production of their studio, their T-shirts and all that. It's pretty cool. They built it from scratch, ground up.
Yeah, and come to find out, you guys helped them by running an extension cord over there whenever those guys just showed up on a piece of dirt, and you're like, here, you can have some power. So it was really nice, and it's a great story of, like I said,
we had just did it ourselves.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you were there. Did anybody give you power?
No, we had the garage built, and because we needed storage, we didn't want to have to pay for storage. And then we had the power company turn the power on and run the power to the garage. So we ran an extension cord from the garage to the house until we got the house power on.
Okay. So you kind of you were paying for power, and you already had a power pole. And before Jared and Jason and them could get that, you were offering them power before they could get the pole in. So
Yeah, it was like 110 degrees out there. Rhonda and I are watching dig holes with these post hole diggers, but they were digging holes for a 2-acre fence, and it's just him and his brother out there doing.
yeah, I like to say, "Hey, you knuckleheads." Well, you probably had the best knuckleheads around. Those guys are truly knuckleheads.
They're awesome. They are awesome. That's true.
Yeah. They're good knuckleheads. So busy, a lot of stuff going on last year through all this, and yeah, and I know you guys are probably tired as can be because if I'm correct, you guys are nurses and you work in the medical field, and it's just been crazy for you guys. How has it affected you two? And uh, and let's see what else. Oh boy, it's like I know you've seen a lot, and again, let's just first start off with are you guys? I know you guys have to be stressed out.
I'll let you start that.
Yes, it can be very stressful. It's very challenging. Um, we like being able to save those and send them home, but sometimes we're not able to. Sometimes they don't get to go home, so we're dealing with a lot of sorrow also with the families, and that gets to you. It's hard not to bring that home.
Hospitals all over the country don't allow visitors if they have COVID.
Yeah.
So it's not just one facility, it's all facilities. And the reason is to try to minimize the risk of everyone in the hospital plus the staff, because the staff are overexposed to it. But it's heartbreaking to watch somebody say goodbye to their loved one on a telephone. I mean, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And then when you bring that stress home, it's 2 levels, I think. One level is you're listening to your spouse for sneezing and coughing and fever because you've been with it all day. You know that if your spouse gets it, you're going to get it. So when chances are, not always, but chances are you're going to get it too, then you have to miss 2 weeks of work and they have to miss 2 weeks of work because you go in quarantine.
Yeah.
That's any hospital anywhere in the country. But if you have 2 nurses that work in the same household, you're both going to be quarantined and with no way to really get out or take care of yourself. So there was that stress of knowing, oh gosh, we could bring it home to the other person. And then the stress of just having to see it every day and wearing all that equipment and being so limited on supplies, and the demand was really high. We used to get gloves and mask and all this, and we'd just change them between every patient. You got a different mask if you needed to and a different gown. They were actually sending masks off to be clean, sending them back and reusing them. I mean, that's how bad the shortage got for a while.
Yeah. Speaking of shortages, just for a second, have you seen any more shortages at the hospital with the supply chain, with other different equipment now or anything, or in your local grocery store?
I haven't. I've noticed the prices are going crazy high for everything. The gas to fill up my gas tank has gone up $10. Every time I fill it up, it's $10 more than it used to be. And when it comes to supplies in the hospitals that I work in, it's really better than it was in the beginning of the pandemic. We have more masks, we have more gowns. Maybe they stockpiled, I don't know, but I know we have it. The shortage isn't near as bad. What do you think?
The grocery stores is what's bad to me, especially the red meat, any kind of hamburger meat, steaks, pork chops, anything like that. It's really expensive. Toilet paper has gone up again. So has paper towels, and the paper towel rolls are not as big as they used to be. You have to pay a lot more and get less money. I mean, get less supply of it.
We're going to have to go back to the corn cob.
You might have to. Would that be? she does a lot of projects, crafts with the kids and everything like that. And I started noticing that all the cardboard tubing in the middle of the toilet paper was missing. So I thought either A, what are they having a shortage of the cardboard tubing, or are they, trying to save money and not put the cardboard tubing there? Come to find out, she's taken like the whole like month's supply of toilet paper rolls and took all the cardboard out of it.
Well, there you go.
So I was going straight to, there's got to be something wrong with the supply, and that's just Debbie's crafting.
I am worried about Christmas, though. What's going to happen with food and ordering supplies and buying presents and getting them on time and things like that for people?
Yeah, I think it's going to get, there's going to be a higher demand around December. And, the supply chain, if they don't get it cranking back up, boy, there's a lot of ships sitting off the coast and everything. And, we're not feeling it too much right now, but the experts are saying it's not getting better, it's getting worse. So we'll just have to see how that all plays out.
We will feel it.
Yeah, we will. We'll feel it. But we'll get through it. We're Americans. Mm-hmm. We overcome. A lot of people are homesteading on the channels we watch.
Yeah.
Man, they're growing their own fruits and vegetables. And have you seen Bake a Leg and Let's Dig It? That lady's got these huge vegetables. Huge. I don't know how she gets them so big.
Yeah, no.
It's crazy.
She can't grow anything. So we're stuck with the supermarket.
Well, Debbie, here's what you do. You get a box of dirt, make sure it's really nice soil, go to the produce stand, buy all the vegetables and fruit, stick them on the dirt and say, Mark, look what I did. There you go.
That's what it basically has to boil down to. Now, I do think too, like out of all the states, I think that will fare better during all this stuff. Texas and Oklahoma, I think we're in a great place in America to be with all the craziness going on. I know, like you say, I know your neighbors will be there. I know our neighbors will be there for us, and I think it's gonna be, we'll be okay. We just might have to hunker down a little bit.
I agree. I think we'll get through it. I think we'll be fine. We'll overcome. It's not going to be easy at times, but how many times of your life have you gone through things with tornadoes or a hurricane if you live by the coast and you've had to make do with what you had until you had more?
Yeah.
We have a lot of family around too here in Texas.
Yes.
So.
Well, while I'm in there, I also heard that is your sister's channel, correct, Rhonda?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll put that, and we'll link it down below. Speaking of family, and they do great things, and they do stuff like now actually Tom did what was behind you, which was the barn doors, but they do all kind of stuff like that. Barn doors on their channel, and they shutters. I mean, they can do everything. So go check out Heard That. And
exclamation point.
You have to put an exclamation point after it.
Okay. Heard that exclamation point. Otherwise, you can't find it for some reason.
And then
we'll put it in for sure.
Yeah, and then Whiskey Creek Tackle is our brother-in-law.
Whiskey Creek Tactical. Yeah.
Whiskey Creek Tactical. We'll link that down below as well.
Yeah.
Now, while we're on that, you guys did a whale of a job, building your place, and Rhonda said, "Hey, I need a closet." So Tom went to work, built this great closet behind them, and then instead of spending a lot of money having somebody do his barn doors, Tom went at it and put those. And I think the horses and the Texas Lone Star symbols just cap it all off perfectly.
I do. Made it different. I really like it.
Rhonda's dad was so funny because when he's in his 80s, when you say barn door, he's looking for a barn door because that's what he builds, barn doors.
Uh-huh.
He said, I said, what do you think about the barn doors? And he said, well, they're all right. They kind of look like pig pictures. So what do you say? He's 85. Yes, sir, they do. They look just like big pictures.
Well, yeah, like you say, barn doors are huge, the real ones,
Yeah, yeah.
and they got the
These are huge. These are huge.
These are like 5 foot wide and 7 feet 2 inches tall each door.
oh wow,
So it's a 10 foot long closet, and it is 2 feet deep because I measured, and you have to have about 22 inches to make a clothes hanger and clothes hang over the hanger,
okay,
which I'm glad I experimented with that because I didn't know that.
they're not dragging on the floor, right?
Right. And they're not, when you close the door, they're not knocking the clothes hanger all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get back to uh, the stuff that we don't like. A lot of people don't like to talk to, unfortunately. But is there any restrictions yet in Texas at your hospital as far as having the jibby jab, or do you guys have to have it, or is it still just recommended?
We have at our place probably some of the best attitudes as far as administration goes about it. And they're not listening to this, so I can say it. They're saying, we have it here for you.
Okay, yeah,
And they give it, and they set it up, and they have specific dates and times for a long period of time. And if you can't meet any of those dates, all you got to do is call them. You can go ahead and get it. It's not mandatory yet.
okay,
It's And I'm a Texan. I believe in free speech. I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe that you should have the right to make your own choices. I don't think anyone should
yeah,
say you have to do this. I think that everyone should do. We got it. We both got it. We
mhm,
both had both shots, and we both had the booster. Well, I've had the booster. Rhonda's going to get the booster. So we've had three. I've had three of those vaccines. I believe in the vaccine for my age and what we're around. You've got to understand.
exactly,
I've got people often in my face that I'm trying to comfort, and I mean, there's a lot of reasons to keep me healthy when I'm at work that a lot of people don't have. They're not around all the sickness I'm around, so I want them to have a right to look at their physical ailments, their history, their medical history, their clotting factors, everything that goes into the decision, and let them have the right to decide. People think, well, it's mandated, so they don't have a right. Well, you do have a right to choose. It's just you might choose not to work there.
right.
If they mandate it, you have a right to go where they don't.
Right. Like every business has the right to run it the way they desire. And
Right.
if they
Exactly.
want you to wear a funny hat to serve food, well, you got to wear the funny hat to serve food. If you don't like it,
Right.
you
Right.
can go elsewhere. Debbie got it because she works at a daycare and she wanted to be respectful for the families and everything she's around too. She decided to get it. I decided I'm pretty healthy. I don't get the flu shot. I don't do anything. So I don't get sick. So if I even had it, I don't know. She had it. She got the vaccine after she even had it. So I hear, there's, again, I'm not an expert. So I hear some
Right.
people say if you got it, you have really good immunity anyways, way
For a
better
short time.
than the shot. But it could be, I don't know. But she's got both, so she should be pretty good to
For her.
go. I somehow
And there's also
didn't
that
get it.
possibility that if you get the vaccine and you get COVID, because we've had several that get COVID, you might not end up in a ventilator in the intensive care unit because you have some immunity that's fighting that off.
Mhm.
And then they can add Regeneron, which is an infusion that helps with your monoclonal antibodies to fight off the infection. And then you can be in and out.
Yeah, it's going to be different for everybody, and I agree with you 100%. Some people's health, it's beneficial for them to get it and be more protected, and there's some people that are like, I might get sick, but I'll probably be okay too. So I agree with you. It should be in the hands of the people that either want it or don't want it, or I'm in the middle. I tell everybody I'm not pro, I'm not anti, but I am pro choice, as everybody should be able to do what they want.
It's America. God bless America.
Yeah. And well, hopefully, hopefully, again, I know some of the states, they are businesses are mandating it, and I know that's going to put a big strain on the medical field that's already stressed out enough. So hopefully it all works out and we can get back to some type of an agreement or normalcy where the patients are in better, that for the patients and everything. I don't know what that answer is for that, but
Hiring nurses threw me off big time, because when the virus first came out, we didn't know what it was. We had no clue. We didn't have any protection, really, just our normal everyday stuff that we wear to protect ourselves. Obviously, it was enough, but we didn't know. And we were still, when we did know, then we had shortages in the field nationally on equipment, and we were re-cleaning things and reusing them, and everything was real picky. And we were still out there every putting on all the garb and sweating through 12 hours to 14-hour shifts with that. It kills my heart to think that those same people will now lose their job because they felt like something wasn't right for them. It's sad. It's sad to me.
It's just I don't know, a bad pickle for everybody. Again, everybody wants to do what's right, but not everybody is on agreement exactly what is right, and who knows,
Right.
It's all new.
And that's why I really want to keep our rights intact.
Yeah.
We have to keep our rights intact, to right to choose what goes in our body.
Yeah. I mean, again, I'm looking at the whole picture, and, vaccines, I'm just going to go say it. I think we're allowed to. It's just talking about what's going on. But the vaccine,
we're not telling people not to get it, that's for sure.
Right.
Because we all got it.
Yeah, yeah. Except for me. I didn't. But
America.
But the vaccine, nobody even knows. It's a new technology, and everything's out there. So everybody should have the choice to either take part or not. And I again, I like to listen to everybody's side and then come up with my own decision.
I do think a lot of the people, if you read the data, a lot of the people that were in that big second wave were unvaccinated people, the ones that ended up in ICU. The vast majority were unvaccinated people. And that really doesn't surprise me, because this kind of took everybody by storm.
So you're seeing it is helping?
Yes, in my opinion, based on what I've seen personally.
Right.
The vaccine has taken people that really should have done worse than they did because they had underlying conditions, and I think it helped turn them around and get them out. Not that they didn't get sick, don't get me wrong, but it could have been a lot worse. It could have led to death based on their underlying conditions. But because they got the jibby jab, I think they were better off.
Well, that's what we need to hear, and I trust you guys, because you're right there seeing stuff that's going on, and that's the stuff that the people need to hear, because some people don't trust the media. They think whatever they're saying, even if it's truthful, they think it's not true and everything. So we like to hear it straight from the people that we trust and get the facts.
And then we can
do your own information.
But they ended up getting it because of the turnaround time that the people that had it had when they got sick.
Debbie's all concerned today. My phone's going off over here. We have storms coming in.
Shirt. She's got a nice shirt.
Yeah. Well, I got so busy in the interview, I forgot to mention. I'm wearing these ridiculous 80s headsets here, and Debbie's got these really nice Sony professional headsets, which I'm telling you, they're not cheap. And Tom and Rhonda sent us these headsets so Debbie wouldn't end up with, like, I don't even.
Oh, you do?
I
You
do? All right.
Uh-huh.
These,
You can't see it that far away, but yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah, right
already
there.
have black on you.
these are degrading, and the black is coming off whenever you leave. And I take them off. We went out to eat the other day. I took these headsets off, and Debbie had these ridiculous things on too. We took the headsets off. We went to go eat. And I'm looking over at Debbie. I'm like, man, you got black stuff on your ear. And I couldn't figure it out at first. And I tried to wipe it off, and it wouldn't come off. It was really stuck to her.
It was.
And then Debbie goes, well, you got it too. And then I was like, oh, it's those cheap headsets I got out of the garbage.
That's funny. I love that show. That's what led to to that headset.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
Having
So
all
thank
black
you.
on her face. That was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Rhonda.
I just said, now you guys have new headsets.
Yeah. And they don't stick out 10 feet like these.
Yeah.
Hey, I wore some of those when I was on the radio in the 70s and
Oh, yeah?
very early 80s. We had to wear those, the ones you're wearing, Mark.
All right. So you have a radio
Yeah.
background. I did not know that.
Yeah, I was a DJ in high school and college, and I worked at the Fox and 96.5 The Lake in Sherman, Texas.
Nice.
KGGF in Coffeyville, Kansas, the voice of the Magic Circle. Yeah, I did all that. It was a lot of fun in my first life.
Well, I know you show a lot of interest in the technology and your mics and the backdrops and everything. And that explains it a little bit more. You've got the bug a little bit like I do. I did TV for a living. So
I heard you say that.
Yeah, so it's fun to dabble. And don't you agree? It's amazing. You know, your radio station, that equipment costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. And now you've got your own, in a sense, TV show that you're doing for, $1,000. It just blows my mind.
Exactly.
He's learning how to do voiceovers now.
For commercials and audio books and
Taking
things like
lessons.
that. Yeah.
Oh,
It's fun.
yeah, funny story is a guy that worked at Channel 9 with me, he was actually an ENG, the microwave trucks, the live trucks. And that's what I did too. But he has a radio voice. And he would actually do some of the voiceovers, not much, for the station and stuff like that. They would pull him in, not to, because they had another professional guy. But whenever I was making funny videos and stuff like that, I would get him. I had him say, like, this is CNN, or whatever.
James Earl Jones.
And he had a radio voice, so it was kind of funny.
That's great.
And you got into your little egg box. They had like a little booth at the TV station, for to go in there, to have the perfect sound and everything.
You can get that in your closet. In this course that I'm taking, the clothes in the closet will act as absorbers to the sound. So rather than going in a bathroom where it echoes and everything, go to your closet, be surrounded by clothes, and do it in there if you're trying to make a real clean recording.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And
that's kind of cool, I thought.
In my satellite truck, we had this lip mic. It was called a lip mic. It was like a $600 mic. It was really, but basically, it's just like if you get closer to your mic, it's going to sound better. So they kind of had like a gimmick with a little bar that made you, put the mic right up to your mouth. But in a sense, you could take any mic really and get it closer. And then you can turn down and the background noise goes away. But I still had a lot of noise in my satellite truck. So they get the lip mic. And that's exactly what I would do. I would take my coat and I would kind of I wouldn't like drape it over them, but I would hold it to be a buffer in between the racks in the truck with all the fans and all the noise. Yeah. And where they were, tracking, laying down their B-roll, the voiceover, like voiceovers for the B-roll. And that's how we handled it. So you're exactly right. You get in the closet, the more clothes or carpet and anything that'll dent in the noise is what you want.
And you realize how bad you've gotten when your wife says, "When are you going to come out of the closet?"
Yeah, that's funny.
Mm.
Well, I've been doing a lot of talking. Tom has been doing.
I
Is,
know.
is there any
Rhonda did.
subjects
Debbie.
the girls would like to talk about?
Me and Rhonda are just here for ratings.
Yeah, that's what I.
Right. That's right, Debbie. That's right.
I'm going to wear a bikini on my next video. I've heard that
Good.
gets the
Yeah.
viewership up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I say, we're kind of past our clickbait age to do what some of these channels out there pull off. But I do notice that whenever Debbie is on the shows on my Grumpy Grandpa Patriot show, I get more views. So here she is.
There you go.
Trying to think.
Yeah.
So we've talked about your oh boy, you got a lot going on down there. You got, like you say, now do you breed your horses?
No, they're
Strictly
retired race horses, so
Okay.
they're just out to pasture, and we feed them and pet them like giant dogs.
Yeah.
So
They eat like giant dogs.
they eat like 2 giant dogs.
Well, they're beautiful horses. I mean, they're just spectacular, and it's fun. On the last couple of your videos, they've been they really play good together. I mean, they go at it, and it's just fun to watch them just ripping around in the background, and it looks like they really vied for your attention whenever you got out there by the fence too.
They can't stand it if Rhonda's petting Big Pocket. Forrest is throwing a fit and pushing Big Pocket out of the way and trying to get up there. It's hilarious to watch.
We've got to go and get Diamond and Emerald some dog food too, don't we?
Get closer to the mic. Could you hear her? I couldn't hear.
Yeah, it was a little low, but we got her. But yeah.
I said we got to go to the store tonight and get Diamond and Emerald some.
Oh, that's right.
food.
We've got to go get dog food.
Well, that's a yeah. They'll let you know if you don't.
Mm-hmm. Sure do.
Yeah, they will.
And what's your little puppy's name again?
Joji.
Joji. Yeah, Joji's a sweetheart. She just
Yeah, she's a mess.
Oh, there she is.
Aw.
Yeah, she is adorable.
Furry friends. Furry friends. Furry friends.
And she's the boss of all the other dogs, isn't she?
Oh
Yes,
yeah,
she
she is. Even the cats.
Yeah. It's funny. We had a little Pomeranian Chihuahua, and my dog would be laying up on the bed. Well, yeah, no. The Chihuahua Pomeranian would be laying up on the bed with me, and my dog would like pop up to get on there, and boy, she would be like, don't
Oh,
invade
yeah.
my space. This is my area. Go down to the bed over there. It was a lot of fun.
We keep the area where the puppy can't get in the bed, because if I try to get in bed and Rhonda's in bed, she'll bite me. If anybody gets in the bed, she'll come after you like a mad dog.
Yeah, they can be bossy.
Bella, our cat, got attacked by something. Don't know if it's a coyote or bobcat or whatever it was, but hurt Bella pretty bad.
Oh.
Bit her head, took
Yeah.
big bites in her head. Her face is all swollen. I'm worried about her.
Oh. Yeah,
She's
We haven't
like a
seen her in a
cat.
couple of days, though. I'm wondering if she went, off someplace. I wanted to take her to the vet, but we can't find her.
Oh, no.
You would probably be able to catch her if she doesn't want to be caught, because she runs from you. But she comes when you shake her feed bowl usually, and she hasn't yesterday.
Well, we had a stray cat, Goldie. That was it wasn't broken or anything. You couldn't pet it, but it always came to the house. It always liked you. It stayed just a little bit away from you and meowed and talked to you, and we would feed it. It kind of became our cat, and it got into something, and it had like a big old, wound that was getting kind of really bad. So we finally got it into our, it figured out the doggy doors, so it could come in, and we finally got it into we fed it inside the
Cat
cage,
cage.
the cat cage. I went in there, boom, shut it. And boy, the vet said he had a whale of a time trying to get that cat sedated. and,
Oh gosh.
and we got it back, and sure enough, it got better. And I started petting it with a welding glove. And
Oh yeah.
because you would go down there and it would be like, this is not natural, and it would just tear into you. And then, sure enough, after about 3 years, I finally domesticated that cat, and it became a lap cat. And it was, I know it's hard to do once they're old, but it
finally did. Well, we got it fixed, and that calmed it down quite a bit.
Yeah. It
That'll
became
do
the
it.
greatest cat. So hopefully you find and full recovery there. And yeah, it's sad whenever.
Bella was a stray cat, but she finally got used to us and was letting us hold her and everything. But she just got into something.
Yeah. Hopefully she'll be okay, and we'll find
Yeah,
her.
hopefully so.
Yeah.
So you want to get out of here?
Well, do you want to? You look like you're getting hot. We turn off the
getting
air conditioner whenever we do this.
We did too.
We've really enjoyed having you on. And unless do you have any other subjects that you want to bring up, guys?
No, I'm just so glad that we get to know you guys.
Yeah. Fun.
Well,
We love watching your channel.
And we're gonna have to have a get together down there in Texas.
Yeah, that's what we'll
days.
And I sent you a text on it, I think, where we could get Jared, Matt, and Shannon, and Roger, and maybe the other brother, and all of us could go bowling over here at the alley.
I like that idea. I like bowling, and I like it's a good place that, we all can just show. And heck, if the whole bowling alleys are full and we just end up sitting around a table talking, it's still going to be a whale of a good time. So,
it would be. Yeah.
It's got a restaurant, movie theaters. It's got everything in there. Arcades.
I love it. I love the idea. And we'll just tell everybody. And I know you guys have been wanting to get that together closer to Texas, so you guys don't have to keep coming all the way up here. It's our turn to come down there.
It'd be fun. It really would.
It would be a blast.
For sure.
All right. Well,
thank you guys.
Love you guys. And I know Tom and Rhonda will understand our final say is, don't forget to be kind, rewind for the next person to watch this beautiful bean footage.
Bye.